Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, Facebook, make sure that you subscribe. Instagram, Twitter, make sure that you go ahead and follow. Obviously, if you're joining me on any podcast platform, please go ahead, hit that like button, and leave comments everywhere. We want to hear from you. For those of you that don't know, I am a huge basketball guy. I talk a lot of football on here because that tends to be the worlds that I end up in most times because I coach and because I cover a lot of football teams. But I love basketball. I would love to cover basketball more for you people out there that might be looking for a journalist to do some work on basketball. It really is a pleasure. Women's basketball, men's basketball, I love it equally. I love it equally for different reasons, which is awesome. At the same time, I think that the girls' game has a certain level of nuance to it. It really does reward good basketball. It's not that I don't think that the men's game is good basketball, but athleticism does allow players to get away with things that they would not be able to get away with if that athleticism did not exist. And you don't see the ladies, even the superior athletes that are in the WNBA or in women's college basketball, really forego or neglect the skill level that it takes to play at the highest level because they have that athleticism. And so I think that that's something that makes me really love and appreciate the women's game at a different level than you appreciate, or for different reasons than you appreciate the men's game. But it's an appreciation on the same level as it would be whether I'm watching men's or women's basketball. I just watch for different reasons. Also, I really do love the fact that the WNBA, and I think who was it? I watched the Knuckleheads podcast. Shout out to to Darius Miles and to Quentin Richardson on their podcast. I love that podcast. I love seeing the people that they talk to. I love listening to what they talk about. But they were talking to Diana Taurasi and within there, she was talking about how at the beginning of the WNBA, a lot of the players were trying to fit into what they thought people wanted. And now what you're seeing in the WNBA is these people just being who they are and that being embraced by the people. And I couldn't agree more. I would even take it a step further. And I think because we're seeing more personality and more originality come out of these young ladies, now you're able, or older women, now you're able to really start to like the players for who they are as people, not just for who they are as basketball players. And we know that personal connections are how you build up your branding. And the one thing that we talk about with the WNBA is having to convince people who don't know better that this brand is worth it. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting on how they've been able to do that, and I appreciate it. But nothing's easy. Nothing's easy in this world, and when it comes to basketball, nothing's easy. You know what I'd love for anybody out there to do? If you play pickup basketball, I want you to try to focus on just getting 5 assists in a pickup basketball game. Like, don't worry about playing defense. Don't worry about rebounding. Save all your time, energy, all your mental capacity. And I want you to save it for trying to get 5 assists in a pickup basketball game. I want you to see how that works out for you. I can tell you what the results are going to be, but you're not going to like it. Similarly, try to get just 5 rebounds in a pickup basketball game where you are actively seeking out, trying to get those rebounds in that pickup game. See how that works for you. Try getting 5 points. Yo, I'm going to put up these shots versus defense. Doesn't matter what they're doing. After I hit the first couple, when people are like trying to make sure that I don't hit any more, try to get five points. The reason I bring that up is because we sit back, and every time somebody like Russell Westbrook does something or plays in a way that we don't particularly like, or that we think he's an easy person to blame for the loss, I mean, we just bag on him. They pound him. They hit. Oh my gosh! The worst thing, the thing that really gets on my nerves in the NBA is when they call his statistics empty statistics. When they try to devalue what he's done, getting triple doubles on the regular, when they try to devalue that by saying, oh, well, those are empty statistics. Do you know what empty statistics means? Empty statistics means that those are stats that don't bring any value to the game, that essentially you're doing it just to get your numbers up so you look better than what you really are. That's what they're saying, that Russell Westbrook has mastered the art of looking better on the stats than he is in actual real life. My response to that is very simple. If it's so easy, you do it. Hey, Karl Anthony Towns. If it's so easy for Russ to get a triple-double, and you are one of the tallest, most athletic and skilled basketball players in the NBA, why would it then be so difficult for you to average a triple-double, right? Because you play with your back to the basket, or you do sometimes, right? And you demand double teams, right? No, you don't do any of that. So you can score double digits every game, right? Yeah, of course, yes, you can. You can easily get 10 rebounds a game because you're way bigger and more athletic than everybody else, right? So that shouldn't be an issue. So then all we're talking about is the assist, and because you score a lot and because you draw people to you, you should be able to. So then why isn't Karl Anthony Towns getting triple doubles every game? Why is he not averaging a triple double? Why are people like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Harden, like why are these people all not averaging a triple double? Kawhi Leonard went healthy. Paul George, why are they not averaging a triple double? You know why? Because it's hard. That's why. If you just told somebody, listen, man, I got an easy way for you to make $100 million. You just have to go to the NBA and average a triple-double. It doesn't have to be an impressive one. You don't have to win any games. You just have to get double-digit points, double-digit rebounds, double-digit assists. If I told you that, and I told you that it was that easy, then why would everybody not do it? Why is it in high schools you don't see kids averaging triple doubles? It should be super easy in high school. You don't see it in high school. Why not in college? Why not in college where the games have opened up a little bit more, but still not to the level that you wanted to be at, but on teams where you got these superstar players coming into their conference, into these conferences in college with all the skills in the world, with all of the hours of play behind them from travel ball and from high school and from whatever other thing, showcases that they're doing. Why is it that you don't see players coming into college and averaging a triple-double? Not even the veteran, not even the guy that stays around for 4 years, 5 years at a college, maybe transferred once, did a grad transfer once their 3 years or 4 years were over at one school and went to another. Like, you don't even see those guys averaging a triple-double. Why not? Because it's hard. I'll tell you, for me, I always went into games when I played, whether it was in high school or whether it was in college. I went into games and played with a goal. My goal was usually not offensive driven. Hey, I'm going to play good defense. I'm going to get rebounds. My goal is to get double-digit rebounds and play good defense. If I do those things, then I'm going to get the offensive touches necessary. I've always had a touch with the ball. I'm pretty good with assisting because I understand the game at a pretty high level. But I knew that if I played good defense, that was going to keep me on the court. If I rebounded well, that was going to keep me on the court. And that if I did both of those things, I would get steals for easy layups. I would get offensive rebounds for putbacks. You get the point. Even with the idea that I was going to focus on defense and rebounding, I didn't always get double-digit rebounds. You know why? Because there are other people on the court with that exact same thought process. Yo, I'm going to come out here and get double-digit rebounds. Yo, I'm going to come out here and get double-digit rebounds. Yo, I'm going to come out here and get double-digit rebounds. So you're telling me that in a league full of players who have incentives in their contracts that are actually like attached to performance, individual performance, that these forwards and centers, however they're situating, are just saying, hey, no, Russ, you go grab those rebounds. You go and get all of those rebounds. I'm going to just be the 6'11", 7'1" guy averaging 7 and 6 rebounds a game, while you're the 6'3" guard averaging 11 and 12. You're telling me that's a level of selflessness that we see in the NBA, that they're going to allow Russell Westbrook to use these statistics to become a Hall of Famer and to garner all of the money that he's garnered because of this, and to win a league MVP and to set the record books on fire, all because they just like him? No. For every Russell Westbrook team, there are other people on the court who still want to get busy. Last night, LeBron James had a triple-double and Russell Westbrook had a triple-double. Nobody is sitting back and saying LeBron James triple-double is ever a hollow or a meaningless or a ghost triple-double. No one's ever saying that. But they say it about Russell Westbrook. This is who he is. Like his game or not, that doesn't even matter. You can like his game or you can not like his game, but you know why? You want to know why a guy like Russell Westbrook gets triple-doubles regularly? It's very simple. Because he has an ability to hustle harder than everybody else on the court most of the time in the game. That's why he gets a triple-double. Because scoring 10 points in the NBA is not that difficult. If you're getting time and you're a somewhat decent offensive player, 10 points is nothing. Carmelo Anthony doesn't even need not a lot of time. He's putting up shots to get 10 points. So getting the points, that's not difficult. Then when you add into the fact that you move at a pace that most don't want to move at, it's easy to put yourself into positions where people are finishing. Here's the thing about assists, though. You have to have people who can finish in order to get assists. He was getting triple doubles in Oklahoma City when you can't even name the people who was on the starting lineup with him. He was getting triple doubles in Oklahoma City. Then he was getting triple doubles in Washington without Bradley Beal. He was getting triple doubles in Houston, where the dominant ball handler was James Harden, where people had legitimate roles. PJ Tucker was that guy, had a legitimate role. And then he comes to LA with LeBron, and he's still getting triple doubles. At some point, maybe it's not like an act, maybe it's not frivolous. This is just who he is. You don't want to attack every ball that goes up in the air? Cool. Russell Westbrook does. You don't want to have the ball in your hands enough to dictate the tempo and the pace of play so that you can make decisions that you believe is best for the team? That's cool. Russell Westbrook does. You don't want to attack the basket because everybody's trying to shoot three-pointers? That's cool. Russell Westbrook does. So for everything that you don't like about Russell Westbrook, there are things that you have to love. I'm never getting behind that man's fashion sense. I don't know what he's got going on. I don't really even care. You know why? That has nothing to do with the game. Do I think he makes some bad decisions? Do I think his basketball IQ sometimes comes into questions with his decision making? Yes. Is there anybody in the league that plays harder than Russell Westbrook? No. Period. End. It's that simple. But in the fact that it's that simple, don't ever get it twisted into thinking that what he does is easy. Because what he's doing is not easy. What he's doing is extremely difficult. Because if it was easy, then we would see more of these guys who we know are in the league just to get a bag doing just that. We would see some more of these guys who are dynamic in many phases of the game, averaging triple doubles. But they don't. Why? Because they're not Russell Westbrook. And they're never going to be Russell Westbrook because there's only one Russell Westbrook. And he plays for my Lakers. Yes, I said my Lakers. Go argue with your mama. And my Lakers will be okay. And when they're not, I'm going to come on here and go, my Lakers are not okay. It's over for this season. But I'm not saying that yet because we're not even halfway through the season yet. It's interesting to me how much we want to do that. How much we want to always try to think of the negative within these situations. And I guess it's because we don't have any other choice. Like we've got, you've got headlines you've got to make. You've got clicks to get. I understand. But man, is it difficult. So the next time you start talking about how Russell Westbrook and what he does is just because, he's trying to pad his stats. I want you to look at your job and I want you to ask yourself, what's the thing that I can do to pad my stats? And then try to figure out how difficult it would be to pad those stats. I'm pretty sure you're going to figure out it's pretty darn hard. But more power to you. Hey, NBA guys, the ones that are playing or the ones that are covering it or the ones that just talk about it. If you think making a triple-double is so easy, you do it. You do it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. We do this thing a few times a week. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree. But whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. If you're joining me on the YouTube channel, you know what to do. If you're joining me on any podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, make sure that you like and subscribe. and make sure that you leave a comment. Until next time, peace.